Hey, it's Dave, Lillie. We're out here. This is our water main. So trying to get water. That way's the camper. So I'm guessing 300 feet or so. But anyway, we gotta cut a path, kind of following where those markers are, and make room for, it's got to be wide enough. We'll test it by driving the ATV through, but wide enough that we can push a trencher through, like one of those hand trenchers. So all right, we're gonna get on it. We got this DeWalt, I'm not sure how, is it 10 inch? Yeah, maybe it's like 8 inch, but anyways, just for this, so we'll see how it works. As you can see, we're pretty busy cutting this little trail. We've got about 200 feet of woods to cut through, and I'm trying to make the path 36 to 48 inches wide. 48 is really the goal because it gives you plenty of room to get the trenching machine through. So most of it is small. Right here I'm pulling out a big iron pipe that's stuck in, but most of it's smaller trees and such, that vines that get in the way. There are a couple larger ones, but not too many. And I'm trying to keep the trail straight, which is hard because basically you got to go through the woods where the woods is kind of let you. So for the most part it's straight, but it does weave a little bit. As you can see, Lily's a big help. She's following behind me. She does pretty good. Out in this one, this is still when it's chilly out. I did this about 2 weeks ago. So I think the temperature was like in the 30s, 40s when I'm out here doing this. So anyways, on this DeWalt saw, so overall I liked it. It had a couple things I didn't like. One is you have a release that you have to press before you can pull the trigger to turn the chainsaw on. And that's a little awkward place, and so I don't really like that. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you can live with it. The other thing I didn't like, it's got this little, I think it's an anti-kickback thing on the end of on the end of a bar. It's a little silver thing, and it's such that it's got a screw on it that I can't take it off. If I could take it off, I'd take that little silver thing off, because it just hinders in getting in the way. I understand why it's there, because if you put it prevents you from putting this chainsaw into a log that's too big. But I've also noticed that they got it tuned down to, when you try to cut something big, it'll stop as soon as it starts to bind. So anyways, it kind of limits what you can do. Overall, it's fine. It's a little pricey for some of the hindrances, but it's much handier than using a gas. And plus, it seems like because of the size and stuff, I'm not tearing up the chain as much. So whenever I use a gas chainsaw to do this kind of clearing, you always end up with a really beat up chain by the end of the time. So this seemed to help a little bit. Anyways, I sped this up to 4 times so you can see the process. After this, we're going to hop into some trenching, and I'll jump back on then. So that's my son Drew, who's running the trenching machine. And over the 2 days that we take to do the trenching, well, it's actually an afternoon and a morning, so really could have done it. We could have all got it done in one day if we were started early in the morning. But anyways, over that time, he became really good at using this machine. So you can see it kicks up. It's kicking up some pretty good sized rocks at this point, and he's already gone through some really serious roots. So the woods presents a lot of challenges for the trencher. But man, this thing's tough. It just does it. It ends up, doing a really good job. We're at the end stretch. He's probably now maybe 70 feet from the meter, maybe 50. So yeah, he's almost done. We end up calling it ending the day right, not too much further than this, because it's getting late, and so he finishes up the trenching the next day. But yeah, he really gets a knack for how that machine operates. And for some reason, Lily really likes sitting on the dirt. She doesn't like sitting on the leaves, and I guess it's bugs and stuff, but it's kind of funny. She searches for the dirt to sit on. Maybe it's cooler too. But anyways, yeah, so here it is. I'll drop off now and come back here as we start laying the pipe. All right, Dave out. Here's a time lapse of us. That's Josh, my son, and my daughter-in-law Savannah. They're helping me lay this pipe. We got the faucet in. It's one of those frost-free type outdoor faucets, and so I put a layer of stone in the bottom and set it on a stone so it helps support it. I drove a stake, actually a fence post in, one of the metal ones, and zip tied the faucet to that, and then ran the water line from that pipe all the way back out to the road. And so that's kind of what it's showing. And it's not too far after this we realized we just do not have enough pipe. So sadly, I'm about 200 feet short. I had 400 feet and I probably needed 600. So I got to finish this up on my own without Josh, Savannah, and Drew's help. So that's what I'll be working on next week. And then hopefully we can turn the spigot on and have water flowing at the property. All right, for Dave and Lily, we're going to say out.